go with the obvious. The obvious, we need to train more. We've got to train more. The more you train, the better you can be prepared. We talked about shooting at the range more than one time a year. We need to train for this event more than one time a year. Train, train, train. So when it happens, muscle memory is I need to go to the threat. I don't care if I got one person with me. Let's go and let's stop that man from killing these kids.
Right. So, all right, this is going to be a good question for you to answer. I've asked it to everybody. You and I both have had entry team, SWAT team training. You know, I've been in the military. Do you think that our average officer on the street has the training or even the mindset to go into that situation and go through a door where you know there's a guy with a high-powered rifle ready to kill you?
I don't think so. That's a tall task.
Right.
Let's just put that out. We'll be asking people to literally, like, the chances of you surviving that is going to be, you know, maybe slim, 50-50 if best. So you not only do you have to have the right tactics, mentally you have to be prepared for that. And it all becomes to who you are as a man. And we have got to get the right people in place. And I think if you train them properly, let them see what they are, what can happen, and if you're trained, like you said, a guy with really good tactics, he'll be a little bit more confident in doing that. If it happened right now, I'm confident enough, and I know you are too, and it all because of the level of training that I have. I'm going in the same way that federal officer went in this shooting that just happened in Texas. It was Texas, yeah. The level of training, it gave him that confidence to go in, and he actually neutralized the suspect.
So training is the big thing.
Training. We have got to get these guys trained properly, and it's going to elevate your mind. It's going to give you that confidence to be able to, like, I'm going in. Because the tactics that you have and the ability to stop that threat.
All right,
let me tell you what I would do. The first thing I would do is put another SRO at Hampton High School, and I'll put a brand new SRO at Patrick Henry School. That's long overdue. Once you do that, we have officers in place at all the schools. But then again, we're going to have to go back to policy and procedure, how that we're going to handle this situation if we do have a school shooting. North Central Schoolhouse and Hampton sits in the town of Vaughnville. Yes, the sheriff do got SROs in that school. Fennell sits in Yemassee. How are we going to address those situations? Is that going to be Yemassee in charge, or is that going to be Vaughnville in charge? Is that going to be Hampton in charge? We need to sit down together and have a policy in place. How are we going to address that situation? Unfortunately, if we do have a school shooting, my recommendation for the county when I first take office is we need to have a policy, not just a school shooting, a mass shooting. If we have any kind of mass shooting in Hampton County, I recommend that the county will close all government buildings and the towns follow suit. Because I don't need officers to go back to the town of Hampton or Vaughnville because somebody in there irate. Those doors should be locked. We need all the resources in Hampton County to respond. You know, we're going to have Carlin County, Jasper County, Allendale, Beaver County responding, but look how long it takes them to get here. So we need Hampton County to stand on its own until we get resources from the local, the state, and the federal. So we got to have policies in place, Jake. And I keep talking about policies, but we in a time now that everybody know what they need to do in case something arises. Like I say, if a shooting happening, a mass shooting, I'm not going to say don't designate the place, but if a mass shooting happening in Hampton County and I'm the sheriff in the county go agree with me, the first thing I'm going to pull from is the courthouse. I'm going to take those young men and women at the courthouse, send them to the hospital. You got people going to come there. You're going to have people that are going to be shot, injured. You're going to have family members coming in. We need to secure the hospital right then.
Right.
And then we're going to need to respond to the cause. Once you respond, for example, if a shooting happened on the backside of Bronson, we need Yamasee to respond, but the way Yamasee responds is totally different than the way Hampton and Valby respond. It'll be closer. Yamasee going on the tail end. We might need Yamasee at this time right now to answer calls, because we still gonna have call for service
in the rest of the area.
It's what we need to have stuff in place. And right now that's not in place.
Well, Jake, it has changed a lot. When they first started talking about school shootings, before you have to wait on a special entry team to engage the shooter. Well, we know that wasn't working, so they changed that. So now, if you have an active shooter on the school, you engage with what you have there, and wait. Let backup get there and constantly support the one that's inside that school, because every minute counts.
Right.
And you have to utilize that.
Tell me what is your vision or your plan to try to start changing things to make it better?
First of all, we would have to go around every school and look at their security plans and analyze it and see if there's room for growth there. And the second thing we have to do, we have to sit here and come up with a plan. And not just the sheriff's office, we have to get everyone involved. That means we need our school board members there. We need every agency within Hampton County. We all have to be on the same sheet of music here, because if not, when something like this happens, nobody's going to know what to do.
Right, because we're not, law enforcement is not going to handle it by themselves.
Exactly.
So everybody needs to be involved.
Everybody needs to be involved, but you have to have a plan, and everyone that's in law enforcement needs to know what your plan is.
Right. So if you're a sheriff's deputy and you're the first one there, and a city of Varnville officer is the second one, you got to know this is what the first two people.
This is what the first two people is going to do,
regardless of who you work for.
Exactly. Regardless of who you work for, and regardless of where you are, or what school you at.
Right.
And another thing you have to do, you're gonna have to know your schools, know the layout of your schools.
First thing is buzzing somebody in the front door. Make sure the gates are locked after 8 o'clock, after everybody's in. Lock the gates down so no intruder can't come in on the back side or the front side. Having a camera at every entrance to the school, and having the secretary or whoever it is buzz them in so somebody can't just come in the back door and take over our school and have hostages. So those are things we can do. And I'm going to say this here. How many times, and I hate to even compare the two, but how many times have we heard of mass shootings at a state prison or a prison facility? Why? You can't get up in there. It's locked down. It's controlled by doors. And you just can't just perpetrate the facility. And we got to have the same mindset with our kids. Our kids are a lot more precious than prisoners.
Right.
Yeah. And I hate to say that we put all this money in the prison systems and make sure that the prisons are locked down. We keep those folks in there. But we need to make sure our kids, our most precious jewels, are protected when they go in there to learn.